I don't know if we should say good morning or good almost afternoon. I'm here not to deal with the panel. I'm a kind of, sometime when you had the movies in the 30s, there was always someone in the middle to do some jongling and things like that. So I'm the way to have a kind of break, not only with the coffee, between the two panels. My name is Marcel Shaton. I run I'm the head of the Israel Europe R&D Directorate, and we are inter alia in charge of the implementation of the framework program in Israel. This already from 96. It has been established by the government of Israel, mainly the Ministry of Economy, Ministry of Science, and the Council of Higher Education. And it is those three ministries or entities who pay our participation in the framework program. For the next framework program, we will pay for, during 7 years, at least 1 billion euro as participation fees. So we spoke, when we spoke about the venture capital and so on, we speak about millions. But if we speak euro, and it's something that even the Prime Minister or the Ministry of Finance, when we have to cut some budget lines, they won't be able, because it is an international agreement, and this you can't change. So some people, even in Israel, in the academic community or even the industrial community, says that it's a good thing because we put money aside that no one can put his hand on. So it's one maybe of the reasons that we participate from 96 into. At that time, it was really a kind of venture capital decision, because no one was sure that we will get the money back through grants. It was really a kind of decision that at that time was not seen so strategic. But today, it's after some 18 years, it is a strategic a step which has been taken, and sometimes, you never know if you do a tactic or a strategic step when you do it, and it's only the historians or 20 years later that you decide it was a strategic step. But now we are in 2020, and maybe I will, I won't be, when someone say I will be briefed, you need to begin to be concerned. So I won't say I will be brief, but I will try. During the first panel, you spoke about, I prepared something, but, here. The union program were quoted, and you have heard sometime the word Jeremy. So Jeremy, it's the name of a prophet, and it's linked to what you said to Yossi Vardi. But a prophet is never a prophet in his own country. So you need to say, and I would say that Yossi Vardi is very influent and has a strong, and he's not what Jeremy was. He was what we called a Colarus prophet, saying the things are wrong, you should do this, and so on. So, in Hebrew we call him Yirmiyahu. But the European decided to call the joint European resources for micro to medium enterprise, Yerbey. This is the acronym, because in Brussels, if you don't know acronym, it's like in the Israeli army. If you don't have acronym, you're not an expert, and you have to understand the different acronym. Yerbey was quoted by our friends from what we called in Brussels the 12, because it's a structural fund program which is not open to Israel and to even France or UK or Germany. It's a fund which is to help SMEs and micro enterprise in the east of Europe and south of Europe. There is in the framework, and to put H2020 in the context of this meeting, there was in the 7th framework program, and even more in H2020, some financial instruments which are relevant to the activity we are speaking here. And it is mainly the RSFF, the research support financing facility, which allows a possibility of funding loans, guarantees, and also to take equity in startup. And it's some fund of the fund. So the Israeli funds, the Israeli venture capitalists can use these facilities. We will have a visit in some weeks of the head of the financial engineering of RTD that will explain those things, and we try to establish also a correspondent in Israel to use this facility because we are entitled for it. It will be also, it will be dealt by the European Bank of Investment and the fund of the European Fund for Investment, which is a subsidiary of the bank for small and medium companies. So I hope that all of you, even in abroad, you will be able to use this facility. The Israeli, as I said, the Israeli government will pay 130 million euro per year, and we need to benefit from that and to use even the financial facilities. Also, of course, H2020 is a research and innovation instrument. H2020, and I will finish, I see that Alex is already a little bit nervous, that we will, the H2020 will go closer to innovation, closer to the market than it was in the past. So there are different instruments. I won't show them here. There's other possibilities. You can get into the web site of ISERD to understand and to come and visit us. So now I finish my show to give to the more important things to be on. Thank you.
Thank you. We always know that panels these days are a fight for attention. The panelists battle against the smartphones, and we hope we've brought up a program of 60 minutes that will keep you away from your smartphones from this 60 minutes. I promise no compensation will have to be made. My name is Stefan Rizzo. I'm the senior partner and chairman of the International Council of Osborne Clarke. Osborne Clarke is a, I hope, well-known European and North American technology law firm. We've very often been praised as being the #1 law firm. I'm the last person to expect to reject that offer. Shalom to all of you. I'm very happy to return to Israel because I wouldn't sit here if I hadn't been to Israel 34 years ago. After I had finished school, I went to work as a volunteer in the kibbutz in Ramat Rachel near Jerusalem, and the international group, the international spirit, the hospitality between the Israeli settlers and the volunteers from all over the world made my look to the world change. It was clear I wanted to become and stay international and stay a friend of Israel. Anyway, without that, I probably would have studied law, but I would never have gone abroad. Osborne Clarke, as a law firm, has main offices in London, but also offices in Thames Valley, which is Reading, which is the Oxford region, offices in the Silicon Valley, and in Soma, south of Market in San Francisco. We have a rep office in Silicon Alley, New York. We have an office in Berlin, no surprise, but also offices in Paris, Amsterdam, Brussels, Milan, Madrid, and so on. Everything else on the website. Don't look now. The German government, Germany is, as you all know, is a land full of traditions and full of industrial giants. So the German government never thought about this area until 3 years ago. In 2011, ResearchGate, take a look at their website, it's worth it. It's a Berlin startup, and they present a platform for scientists. And Angela Merkel, as you probably know, she's a doctor of physics, and her husband is a well-known, one of the probably worldwide, globally best-known scientists in physics in the world, was interested in the product. And then she, for the first time, realized the potential of the young startup scenario. And now the Grand Coalition has set up one specific goal. How can the Federal Republic of Germany support this area? And they've taken one first wise choice. They've asked Osborne Clarke to advise them. And therefore is, let me know what you want of her. She's listening. So we shouldn't waste that opportunity to make a triangle out of Europe, Israel, and the United States of America. I think it can be a very powerful statement to technology. All of this wouldn't work without the human capital. All of the money leads to no ends if we hadn't the smart inventors. And I'm very pleased and proud that I have two inventors on my panel sitting. And we're starting with Victor Rosenman, and he also brought some pictures. So, watch it. Victor.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think I'm the only one who does a presentation here, so I will try to not keep it boring. During today's presentation, I would basically talk about about FeedVisor first, kind of a very brief overview, so you know the context. And then I'll move to talk about our fundraising experience, and if you have any questions or something you want to ask afterwards, I'd be more than happy to answer. So, in a nutshell, basically FeedVisor provides the algo pricing platform for online retailers. So, to stay away from kind of more of the buzzwords, I will in 1 minute explain what it does. Basically, most of you probably buying on the internet today, and when you do so, and you decided which product you want to buy, you want to choose a vendor. And when you're choosing a vendor, you want to choose the one that has best price performance. So when you're thinking price performance, price is obvious, performance is the shipping time, your overall experience of getting the product on time, the product being authentic, ability to return it, etc. So because there are various vendors out there in the internet, and they have different level of performance, different qualities, different brand equities, these people usually have a different prices. So when you, as a consumer buying, you want to decide which has the best price-performance combination. From the other end, from the retailer perspective, what retailer needs to figure out is how to price, because they have a certain performance that compared one in other way to performance of other retailers, and they want to find the optimal price. So that's basically what FeedVisor does. So FeedVisor quantifies the relative performance of a particular retailer and then compares it to the performance of others and then determines the price to put for a given product at a given time, in real time and algorithmically. So, in a very nutshell, the way it works is we collect a huge amount of market data about demand, about trends, about different competitive information. Then we run algorithms to analyze this data. And once this data is analyzed, we understand where demand is going, what's the price elasticity, and what's the competitive situation. Based on that, we actually determine the price in real time, and we provide very valuable insights to retailers how to optimize their operations. So that brings me to our company. So we started about 3 years ago. We have seen a tremendously quick growth over these 3 years. So if we take 1 year ago, I was working alone in my home office. And now we're already 30 people. We raised over $8 million in venture capital. We manage over $1 billion worth inventory of the retailers that we price. So many of you who are buying on Amazon, maybe eBay, it's quite likely when you're seeing price and you press a buy button, you're actually buying a price that we have set. So the main topic of this discussion today is to give a perspective of our fundraising experience, what we have seen from our perspective, because there was a lot of the VC talk, and VC see a slightly different perspective than entrepreneurs. So the very first decision that entrepreneurs face is when actually to raise money. When to raise, how much to raise, what valuation, from whom to raise. And this is the pre-seed stage, so you don't have anything yet. So in our case, what we decided to do is we decided to skip the pre-seed stage funding entirely. We worked for a year in stealth mode and developed a product, had the first customers, and we have shown first revenue. So from our perspective, getting to the seed stage was easier. Now, when you're getting to the seed stage, there is also a lot of questions to be answered. So you need to know if you want to raise all the capital at once, or you want to do it in steps, in tranches. You can raise from VCs, which many of them have seed programs, or you can also raise from angel capital. And you want to stay away from mistakes. Our decision is we raised seed capital iteratively. So we had 3 to 4 small seed rounds, each round with a higher valuation, obviously, and each round with more amount raised. But it was very much tied to our milestones. So we achieved the milestones, we raised more money. It was easier for us as a company, but it also was much easier for the investors because they used to manage their risk more appropriately. We have chosen to raise capital primarily from the micro funds. So not from the VCs, not from angels, but primarily for the micro funds. And the primary reason is micro funds provide institutional or professional capital. These are people who usually can invest in the later rounds, even in the Series A or maybe even later rounds. And the most important, we gain board members who really understand how to run the business, how to take the company from the very early stages to the A round, etc. So we had, just an example, we had Horizon Capital, Yaniv Jacobi, who was VP product from the Live Person, who helped us a lot at the very initial stages.